Good morning. You're watching Morning at NTV. I promised some weeks back that I'd have my guest back because they're running the first ever in Uganda. I don't want you to start quoting us that in the Florida it's there. So the first childcare center designed for the workplace, the Cradle Uganda. I have Manuela Pakutho Mulondo. Good morning. Hi. They caught us just where the last time
where we had ended.
So the last time Manuela was here, just to recap, if you didn't watch that particular one, we're talking about child brain stimulation. And you were explaining that the Cradle UG is if a workplace wants to sort of cater for the mamas in the workplace, whether I'm 3 months and I'm still breastfeeding and that whole having to, you know, is it express the milk. I need a good environment, a calm environment, that you're able to set that up in workplaces.
Yes.
Then you also had those workplace residential. So the workplace is near and at.
Yes.
Then there's residential.
Yes.
So you only have the one in Tinder so far.
Yes.
And you said 0 to?
0 to 3.
0 to 3 years old. And 0 means, I was telling I don't imagine you can have the young babies with
Yes, we can. We actually can. We've had newborn babies. Usually happens when a mother dies during childbirth, and no one has prepared for maternity leave. The mother, the mother of the mother, or the mother of the dad. Like no one is ready at that point. And so what's happening usually is, for many fathers, the child is going from one place to another or being raised by a house girl. But now we found that very many fathers go to a place, actually come to the cradle and say, okay, I don't know what to do with this child. My mother is deep in.
You know, that thing happened to us. One of my cousins, we lost her 2 or 3 days after she had a baby. And it was that. It was between this sister.
Yes.
Okay, the judge Janaja Kuja.
Yes.
Tata Wali. Then so until there's some sort of stability. But for the first month, it's
really horrible for the child. And so what's happening is that at that time, no one is giving a child meaningful interactions. And again, like we said the last time I was here, that's when they have the neurons flowing about in their brains. Now, people who are taking care of the child at that time, they're mourning, they're grieving. That's all they're thinking. Every time they see the child, they're crying. Every time, you understand what I mean? So what is the experience that child is getting at birth? That's what they're seeing, mourning and crying. So now, fathers are actually bringing them to the cradle and saying, you know what, you just, let me mourn, let me grieve, take care of my baby. I'll come and pick my baby up. And they're very diligent. Bring in the morning, pick up in the evening. They're fed on formula because anyway, that's what they have available.
The father is not able to
yes, that's what they have available for them. So that's why we start from newborn. Many people ask me why. Say, no, you're making many mothers. But we have even mothers who go through postpartum depression and would want to throw away their children.
I've seen that discussion, and people are always shunned. Why can't you be okay with your child? Why can't you bond?
It's a very, postpartum depression is real. It's a real phenomenon. It's actually something that almost every mother has gone through. They have no idea. But if you've ever had a baby and you find yourself cry for absolutely nothing, you're probably going through postpartum depression. And let me tell you, every mother you ask will tell you, I just felt overwhelmed. I just felt, so there's levels, I agree.
Can you go through postpartum depression even with a support system and everything?
Yes. Because you see, the support system is not taking you out to the world. I remember every evening, my husband would have to pick me up every evening to drive, just to see lights, to see other human beings, to have conversation with people who are you're not just thinking about, and then that a child or a life that's dependent on you. Flavia, that thing can make you run mad. You know that if you fail, your child fails. What you do affects this child. And I think that's why there's a huge bond between mothers and their children, because of that dependence. And that dependence falls on you like bricks. After you've come back from having the baby, you're smiling, hey, you reach your home and you realize that when you go to the toilet, you have to be thinking about the child. When you go, wherever you go, you have a reminder. It's like you have boobs, you have a flask. You go to work, you have a flask on you. You are thinking the child pretty much 24 hours of your life. So that that experience
Breaks
is
you.
very depressing.
I hear you. So today we're going to talk about helping children think critically, because that's a statement she made the last time she was here. She said that in all of this, you're going to have to help your child think critically, but not just you, mother, and you, father. Everyone around your child, because you might be good at helping your child, the father might be good, but then you're both at work.
Yep.
And that's the most part of
yes,
the day.
most part of your day.
And then so you have 2, 3, 4 plus people who are dealing with your child the bigger chunk of the day. Then maybe the weekend you're there on Sunday.
Yeah.
So how do you manage for your child to, you know, think critically? But before we get to that, this is actually a video that Manuela shared that I'm sharing with you. Have a look.
Can you tell me what happened when the hungry caterpillar got the stomach ache? What happened?
And then he ate the leaf.
And he ate the leaf. And how did the leaf make him feel?
Yummy!
You made him feel
yummy! And then he was so big, like a giant.
And yes, he was a very big caterpillar. He wasn't a small caterpillar anymore. And then what did he do after he finished eating the leaf?
He pushed his way out.
No, there was another step that happened.
A chrysalis.
He went inside his chrysalis.
Yes,
And he slept inside his chrysalis. And then
he
what happened?
turned into a butterfly.
He did. And what is that process called when a caterpillar turned into a butterfly?
Metamorphosis.
You're right.
Did you notice how Michaela talks about the hungry caterpillar, retelling the story she has heard? She uses well-developed language with great vocabulary and complete sentences. How did Michaela go from gesturing and babbling as a young infant to speaking in complete sentences as an older toddler, as you just saw? Something special has happened consistently in this child's life.
Used to struggle at characteristics. This child just said metamorphosis.
And get this is like a 2-year-old.
I was about to ask you, this can't be more than 3.
No.
First of all, I thought 2-year-olds don't talk.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly my point. It's exactly why we are here. 2-year-olds can talk.
We thought the child starts talking at like 3
At like 3,
yes.
yes, that's true, which is very wrong. And children start the talking that as we get ready for at 3, actually abroad starts happening at 1.5. And it's not like they're doing anything magical. That's why I'm glad we're here. It's because they have conversational partners.
You know, it's interesting. I have my director and my producer in my ear, and they're going back and forth. No, it's the way you talk to your child. The child can talk, which is good. Those are the kind of conversations we wanted you to have.
Yes.
Now, I want us to go through that conversation of you, the support system, because it's why we're here, but also for you to understand, as she said, it's okay. It's actually possible.
It's right.
Children of 1.5 years can talk.
Yes.
But also, I have parents who expect their 2-year-old to speak fine.
Yes.
But not metamorphosis.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
they expect their child to say, "Mommy."
Yes.
Bad.
You know what?
Beat. No.
When I meet parents who say, "My daughter talks," and he says, "Okay, how big is her vocabulary?" She says, "Mommy." She says, "Daddy." I'm like, this needs to change. They should be saying "Mommy," "Daddy" at 1.5 years old, not at 2. At 2, we should be having meaningful conversation between a 2-year-old and me, a 2.5-year-old, and by 3, their vocabulary should be much bigger than what we actually expect them to have. And so I'm
But let me ask you, Manuela, because I have my nieces and nephews and I talk to them.
Yeah.
And I'm patient because I wait and I ask the question again. And sometimes you see you're forcing them to, okay, maybe they mean this. Let me answer auntie like this.
Yeah.
And before you know it, they're comprehending what you're saying. And then they're answering you.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing patience is one of the things you'll mention is needed when you're teaching children.
Yeah.
But at 2 years old, because we've clearly seen it's possible, the child has been explaining with just one question asked.
Yes.
But how much should we expect them to comprehend and also understand to answer us back?
Their brain is most active in those first 3 years. So their comprehension of everything you do and everything you say is biggest at that time. Your niece and nephew right now think deeper than you do.
At that age?
Yes, at that age.
Wow.
So the problem is we are not making use of that time.
Okay.
So what happens is either we understimulate them, or we overstimulate them. Now you
can understimulate a child's brain.
Yes, most of our children's brains are understimulated. I will say my child's brain, my children's brains were understimulated. Because I was a parent who said, not me, not children go to school at, below 4. That's the parent I was. So, but my children were understimulated. Then you have those ones who take their children to school at 1.5, at 2 years. This is real school, like school A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Right? Cane fingers. Why aren't you writing the? You're overstimulating.
Oh,
so you
so
need
there's
to,
an extreme and
yes,
there's an
yes.
okay.
So you need to get to a place where you're doing the middle level, and that one starts, like we said the last time I was here, right from the time they're in their in your tummy.
Yeah.
So that your nieces and nephews are lucky to have someone who talks to them.
Yes.
What I want us to talk about today is how to talk with.
Okay, with them. Okay.
Because you find that now your conversations with them after today, even you will be able to tell that difference. And the thing about that is, if then your brothers and sisters who talk to them or with them also change the way they talk with them, and then the person who they find at the shopkeeper does the same thing. The person in Sunday school does the same thing on Sunday. The person they are with through the day does the same thing through the day. Then you find that you have an all-rounded, stimulated child through their lives.
Okay, so there's a support system, but it starts with the parents, obviously.
Yes, it starts with the parents.
We're going to have to deal with the mother, because for a long time, this is the person who's closest with the child. So you said from when you're pregnant.
Yes.
What can I as a mother do from that point before I actually meet and see my child to help my child?
Your child needs to hear your voice.
Okay.
So that means you need to talk.
Those
those are the problems. Those are the problems we have. So your child needs to hear them talk to them.
Okay.
Or talk with them. So a lot of how you touch your tummy in that time usually tells a child now the conversation is between us. So you hold that, you're holding your tummy and you speak down.
These are not things of Bazungu. Because now
no, it's not a thing of Bazungu.
There's someone watching them and Emmanuel and Bazungu habituated.
No. Far from that. If we're going to, and it's something that I wrote on my Facebook page, that if we are going to raise, our parents raised us right for a time such as this.
Yes.
But our children's world is going to be very different.
Very different.
The world is getting smaller. They're all going to vie for the position of, MD of I don't know which company, with a person from Kuwait, a person from the US, a person. It's going to be an equal ground to compete. Now we can't be at a place where people are competing in our own country for jobs here and they can't get them because people elsewhere are stimulated, they're well stimulated, they can solve problems, they can think fast, and they're doing great things in their countries. They're going to, it's going to just look like, they can do better here in our country. So we need to prepare our children. Our children are going to compete for jobs in the US, high-ranking jobs in the US. We have to prepare them for that. Us here, we have
too late for us.
We are
So you're saying that at pregnancy, you hold your tummy and have conversations
and have it with your child. So talk to your child. Do you know what's happening to you now? I read on the internet that right now you're the size of a watermelon. Do you know what a watermelon is? So you start to say words that in their brain at that time is hearing.
Okay.
They're hearing the word, let's say, watermelon. They've had size. All of these words, they're hearing them. You have no idea what you're doing for your child. When they come out of there, and let's say they're 1 week old, and you're eating a watermelon. So mommy is eating a watermelon. It's red. And the child is 2 weeks, 1 day old. Mommy is being healthy. I'm eating a fruit. It's called a watermelon. It's red. So you're having a conversation with your child. You know, many people ask me, what is it that now I'm talking to a child about?
Therefore, we cannot talk that until the child is 18.
That's very true. No, we don't. No, we don't. That's very true. But the line of thought is You either talk to your child about what you are doing, or you talk to your child about what they are doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's parallel talk and self-talk.
Yeah.
That if you're looking for what to talk about, just talk about what you're doing. Even if they're just breathing, tell them you are breathing. Then build on the fact that they are breathing. You're breathing oxygen. It comes from that. Say whatever
you are smiling. Take a chance to take about teeth.
Now you've understood.
Yeah.
We've finished the interview.
Now I am done. Now I'm ready to be a mother. I was thinking, now I'm ready.
Now you're good.
Yes,
you're good
so
to
you
go,
know, you're crying, eyes,
yes,
tears.
yes,
Hey, there's an
exactly.
opportunity to learn at every turn.
Why don't you, let me ask you the questions now.
I am a very
You're a pro.
student.
Yes, but you've got it.
Yeah.
For everything that you're doing or they are doing, build on it. Okay. That is where your conversation starts. That's where it grows. And then as they grow older, we start to talk about something called the talk strategy, which is what
I think that's the one, the technique of talk.
Yes, the technique of talk. And that, should I get into it?
Please.
Okay.
Talk is the key, yeah.
Yeah, it's an acronym. Yeah. So we use an acronym T. T means tune in.
Tune in.
Tune in.
Okay.
And when you're tuning in, there's steps to tuning in.
Okay.
Step one.
So this is the parent or whoever
is interacting with the child. Step one is enter your child's world.
Okay.
So get to the child's level. Look them in the eye. Many times we're here, we say, but Bazungu really, they can really work well with children. We actually think that every Muzungu who comes here has come because of the children. Yeah, and they talk really well with them. They get down on their level. Yeah, because they always squat. Standard. If a child is, they never look at the child. You know, I'm looking at the child down. No. They actually squat so that you're looking at your child eye level. Okay. The child is not looking up. You're not looking down. Eye level. So you're actually getting into your child's world. If the child is lying down, you're lying down with them. If they are sitting, you've gotten to a level where you can look them straight in the eye. Yes. You see our children nowadays, you say hello to them.
Down, they look down. How are you? Take them 10 minutes to answer that. How
fine,
are you?
thank you. Because they are not used to someone who looks them straight in the eye. So we need to get to a place where we get into their world. Okay. That means just get to a level where you look them straight in the eye. Then if they are doing whatever it is they are doing, remember we're looking at what they are doing to help us to converse with them.
Okay.
Look at what they are doing. Notice what they are doing.
Okay.
Not what you think they are doing. Not what you hope they are doing. But exactly what they are doing. Yeah. If they are looking at a book, they are looking at a book. Not they are reading.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
They are looking at a book. You understand what I mean? Or they are touching a cup.
Yes.
Or they are touching your TV. You know what I mean?
Don't by the ears.
Exactly, remove them. Yeah. They are actually doing an action there. Okay. Yeah. They are holding a glass something on your table that they are about to throw. That's exactly what they are doing. The next step of tuning in is comment about what they're doing. So you're touching mama's glass on the table. You're touching that TV. I see you looking at a book. I see you touching the TV. Okay. I see you pulling your blanket. I see you put your finger in your mouth. Just say exactly what it is they are doing.
Oh, okay. I think first student again. You're not saying, you're going to break my cup.
No.
No. You're saying you are holding the cup. Hey.
Yes.
We have a long way to go.
Yes, you're holding the cup. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not, you're about to throw the cup. No, they are not aware of that.
They didn't know they were going to throw the cup.
They didn't know they were going to throw the cup. Okay? They are holding, they are touching the cup.
Okay.
After you're done. Yeah. Because remember, if you're at their level at this point, you're not seated in your chair saying, hey, you're going to throw my... No.
Which we do.
You have gone round that table, gotten to their level. So at that point, they are now paying attention to you. And then you've said you're holding the glass or you're touching the glass. Okay? Wait for them to respond.
Okay.
Because we are learning how to take turns. It's called serve and return. That's how a conversation happens. So we are very used to, hey, don't touch. The child doesn't talk, doesn't reply you, nothing. All they do is freeze. stop whatever it is they're doing, or cry. You know what I mean? Now we are trying to get them, trying to get to a point where we converse. We have
they
a
can
converse.
tell you.
Yes. Now, usually when you look at them, okay, at that point, some children will talk. You know, you're going to tell me, now they're 2-week-old. What are they going to?
What are they going to respond?
What are they going to say? Now they have put their fingers in their mouth, and you've told them, you know, you're putting your finger in your mouth. Yeah, and they're just looking at you. Look, have they wiggled their toes? Have they done something with their hands? Have they shaken their head? They've responded.
Oh.
All they need to do is to realize that there was a moment for them to respond.
Okay.
Because then you teach them how to have a conversation. Later in future, what has happened for us in our lives is because we're never given an opportunity to converse, we overtalk. Have you met me?
We were told.
Have you met me?
When you were young, these opportunities were not many.
You are not there. So that's what so you find that many people complain about us Africans, that we never have the opportunity to listen. We never listen because we are always fighting to talk. Yeah, and it's because when we were younger, we were never given the opportunity to talk. Now,
you are shaking tables.
I'm shaking.
You are shaking tables in this continent.
I'm glad I am.
But it's the truth.
I'm glad I am. So what happens then is we can learn to listen to each other and know that now let me listen to you for me now to respond. Okay? So now you've talked to your child and then you've waited for them to respond. Now you've tuned in. They have your attention. They are not scared they are going to throw a glass. But let me tell you, Flavia, even if they threw that glass, honestly, what is it? How much was that glass? To the point that you would scare your child not to talk. You understand what I mean? So we need to see it. We need to see life like that. And even then, you know, if I was given more time, the thing is, as a parent, in your sitting room, okay, you should only, or in whatever place that you're in with your child, you should talk to yourself in such a way that you only have an opportunity to say no to your child 3 times, or don't touch this 3 times. If you go past 3 times, your room is not conducive for your child to be in. So if you don't touch that, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch, don't, all those don't.
Have less don't touch.
They should, not even less. Home. 3 is maximum.
3 is maximum. So talk, I want us to fix these things in lose time.
I know.
So there's T, which is tune in.
A is ask questions.
Ask questions.
So ask the question based on what the child is doing. Okay. Not do you want to throw my glass? No. You now ask, do you feel the glass? Do you see what's in the glass? Based on what's happening with the action they are doing at that time. What are you now going to allow them to do? Answer you. Give them an opportunity to answer. You also have to know, am I going to ask an open-ended question or a closed-ended question? If my child, by 2 years old, 3 years old, I mean, you should be asking open-ended. Okay? Why do you think the glass is on the table? So that now they are thinking.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to think critically.
Children think critically. So T, you tune in as a parent at their level, look them in the eye, and then ask, well, A is for ask questions. So ask questions based on what they're doing, not what you assume, what you did in 95 when you were younger. That
and how you threw a glass.
And then you assume, then there's L.
L is lift language.
Lift language.
Lift language. So they are touching the glass. So what other word can you use that's not touching? Okay, because now they've possibly understood the word touching. Okay, so you've asked them, say, for example, why do you think the glass is on the table? And then the baby says, ish there. Yeah. This is the thing about lifting language. Model the language you want your child to use.
So don't say,
don't say, is glass there? See glass, you understand? So, and missing out all of those letters and all of those numbers. Say the word as it is. Say, the glass is, someone left this glass here by mistake.
That's a new word.
That's a new word. So let's push it closer so it doesn't fall down and break. Because if a glass breaks, we could get an accident. Now you're saying words that they never ever thought of, but you've helped them to start to think based on the questions that you ask them, and then you lift their language.
Yes, it's just sad we're running out. Every time we have here, we're running out of time. But I don't want you to go without saying where the K is.
The K is keep it going.
Keep it going.
Keep it going means go back.
Go back.
Tune in again. Ask questions. Lift language. Because you see, after they've talked about the glass, they're going to get bored. And then they're going to go to something else.
But of course.
So go back again.
and
tune
do the
in,
same thing.
ask questions, and lift language.
All right. This is Manuela Pakutho Mulondo from The Cradle UG. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. Please find a way to find them. And their first center is in Tinda.
Yes.
Yes. So if you're thinking of having children, you can probably go talk to her still. She can explain a few things to also prepare you before you get into that phase. But if you have a child, please, everyone in the house who deals with the child, tell them talk. Tune in, ask questions. Listen, lift language, and keep it going.
We also have child simulation workshops. We have a partner in the US, the Business of Play. We have child simulation workshops annually.
Oh, nice.
And so you can actually come in and learn. It's a multi-level course on how to talk to your child, how to read with your child, how to play with your child, and how to discipline your child to get them to think critically. So
that way I can bring my cousin who stays with me.
Exactly. Who is also in the process. Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Manuela. Always good to have you. I feel like this is a conversation that, as we say, keep it going.
Yes.
Manuela from The Cradle UG, that's it for Morning at NTV. It's the weekend, by the way, so catch you Monday.